tried to work through last minute.
Fox, are you getting them? Are you getting them at all? I'm not hearing them. I'm seeing them.
Michael, is somebody helping you too?
You can check it out if you want.
Oh no, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you're good.
Yeah.
I think I'm good now.
I mean, is there somebody like?
William will probably be up there. I'm guessing. Oh yeah, just leave it there. It's fine. Yeah, don't be worried.
Good morning. I am the high school pedagogy administrator. So many things bring us to this particular moment in the life of these graduates. I'd like to begin by acknowledging just a few of these. First, I would like to acknowledge that the land upon which we find ourselves was originally cared for by the Ohlone people who lived in harmonious, stable groups and who understood the needs of the land. May their wisdom inform our own stewardship of this place. Second, I would like to acknowledge the many miracles that led to the creation and the incarnation of these graduates, who've warmed our hallways and our classrooms with their unique individuality. May we continue to wonder at life's miracles. Third, I would like to acknowledge the important decision and tremendous effort by our founders to bring this place, the spirit of Waldorf education, an approach to educating human beings in a modern era to live harmoniously, solving problems holistically, harnessing the unique gifts in each human being for the good of all. May we bring that gumption, the gumption it took some of you to tear up a parking lot and plant a garden. And that courage, the courage it took some of you to create a high school, our high school. May we bring this courage and gumption to all that we are inspired to undertake. Wisdom, wonder, courage, and gumption guided us here to this place at this moment. May these forces fill all as we bring our 2021 commencement ceremony into being. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie. Good afternoon. It is so good to have you here. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, and the staff of the Waldorf School of the Peninsula, I want to welcome you on campus, as well as those of you who are watching on the live stream. It is 13 minutes past 2 a.m. in Zhejiang and Ningbo, China, where two of our Tracy and Henry are remotely and watching us. From across the ocean, Henry and Tracy, we welcome you and we congratulate you. A year ago, we were graduating entire classes remotely. Having parent presence here with us is both a relief and a pleasure. Early on, our school made a call to graduations in person this year. This is the most powerful way to accomplish our purpose, commemorate the moment together, and congratulate the student for their accomplishments. To be able to hold this event in person, there are several state rules for graduations that we have to follow. These requirements were created a few months ago and are derived from the rules for public events, public live events like sports and rock concerts. They have been somewhat adapted for schools. So number one, the stage and the audience have to be separated by 12 feet of sanitary no man's land and a barrier. We are using a simple rope as the barrier instead of the not mandatory, but suggested interlocking metal barrier. And that's because we can trust that our adoring fans will refrain from breaching it and storming the stage. We will wear masks, as we have done all year, as a matter of course. And when adults speak individually at the microphone, they are allowed to remove their masks. As you know, we had to limit who could attend. Audience members must stay in household units and not mingle while on campus. At the end of the event, we will bring some light celebratory food to your seat. Please enjoy it within your household. The school finally has some rules too. They're simple. We'd like that you put your cell phone on airplane mode or even turn it off. We have a lot of wireless equipment for this event, and the sound and the streaming systems will be affected by changing the available bandwidth and possible interferences. They take place when your phone receives a message, text, or any activity that your phone will have while in your pocket. So I'm going to give you a minute for you to make these changes to your phones. This event is professionally streamed and recorded, so please refrain from photography and recording. We are here to celebrate your graduates. That requires being entirely present and in the moment. Following these rules, they have to be together in the whole possible way for you and your graduates. Assembled today here because we have reached a date in the calendar. We are here because of you, the graduates. Because of what you have accomplished over the course of many years. It is your work, your efforts, born out of your own will, your resiliency, creativity, care for each other, and what you have realized that we are celebrating and rewarding you. At the end of the ceremony, I will grant you a diploma that seals this writing you have earned. This degree is not a document that you can go out and cash in. It is a marker. You have learned about the world and maybe just as importantly about yourselves. You have transformed yourselves and are ready to learn even more, changing the world. You walk onto this stage as students. You will leave as graduates and alumni of the Waldorf School of the Peninsula, joining the 500,000 Waldorf graduates around the world. This is a new relationship and community for you. And it is what you put into it that will define it. As a start, I want to invite you to the first alumni reunion. These are typically held at the beginning of winter break. One of your first acts as future alumni will be to look inside the school community and recognize others who are furthering the spirit of the student body. I would like to introduce Melinda Young, who was last year's recipient of the Founders Award. She will present the award today. Please welcome Melinda.
Thank you. So, the Founders Award is given by the class of 2011 in honor of all those individuals whose pioneering efforts made Waldorf School of the Peninsula's high school a reality. The student presented with this award is flexible, resilient, inquisitive, and upright. They bring to the life of the school a combination of quiet leadership, innovation, and a pioneering spirit. Importantly, the recipient helps to nourish the sense that the school is a family and regularly acts on behalf of the community. The 2021 award recipient has demonstrated these qualities in numerous ways, from representing her class as a member of the student council to leading community gatherings at our Wednesday announcement periods. She is confident, thoughtful, and always willing to step up to whatever challenge is presented, and we are so blessed by all she brings to the school community. And so, without further ado, this year's Founders Award recipient is Camille Majan. Please stand. And I do have a book and a card here for you, but we'll be presenting those to you later because yay, COVID. And now I would like to invite to the podium Hans Walser, who will be speaking on behalf of the grades teachers.
Hello, everyone. Congratulations. Good to see how you all have grown so much. Myself, teachers, Kara Kowalski and Barbara Shields as your kindergarten teachers. I wanted to offer a blessing and thoughts, and here we go. A Lakota prayer. Wonkin Tonkin Great Spirit, teach me how to trust. My heart, my mind, my intuition, my inner knowing, the senses of my body, the blessings of my spirit. Teach me to trust these things so that I may enter the sacred space and love beyond my fear, and thus walk in balance with the passing of each glorious sun. Next, I wanted to welcome your grades teacher, Allison Sokolowski, who is going to be sending a blessing via the wide world of internet here. So.
Hello, graduating class. of 2021. I'm so glad I get to be here with you to celebrate this day, this special day that I have been dreaming about for a long time. Graduates, I have a message for you. I want you to know that your destiny awaits. There is a path just for you. And the world is so ready to you. The answers in your heart are just bursting and ready to come forth as you take steps into the future. And I want you to know that as you take those steps, those courageous steps to find your path, to find your destiny, the whole universe backs you up. And I'm so lucky that I get to be a part of some of those steps for you. Congratulations that I and all of your people and your grown-ups and your parents and siblings and family and friends are cheering you on. We are here to walk that path when you with you when you need it. Congratulations.
And now I would like to invite Sarah Jane Pinkerton for the commencement speech to the seniors.
Welcome, students, faculty, family, and friends. I'm so honored to be here today to celebrate and commemorate the Waldorf School of the Peninsula's graduating class of 2021. Change is the only constant. Change is hard. Be the change you want to be in the world. You've all probably heard these before. You may find them inspiring, boring, comforting, but I'm not going to talk about change in this way. I'm going to talk about the potential of change, the radical potential of change. And leads to transformation. When you let the world change you, you can change the world. When I finished high school years ago, I had such a strong conviction. I was determined to take an unconventional. I was going to pursue a career in ballet and modern dance. Now, this might not sound like a big deal, but it was a completely foreign idea to my family of academics and engineers and teachers. Well, my plan didn't turn out exactly as I had meticulously imagined it. I had the setbacks and obstacles that almost every journey has. I had a hip injury. When I was 20, my beloved ballet coach passed away suddenly. I had the financial strain and strife that comes from choosing an unconventional career in the arts. And I had many, many failed auditions. But I was determined. I was doggedly, stubbornly going to stick to my plan. I was not going to change. Eventually, my determination and hard work morphed into an inflexibility to change pursuits, a refusal to reimagine and reinvent myself into something different than I had previously decided my path was. I did not want to change. Along the way, I had some amazing experiences, but I was stuck in thinking about my future in only one way. But when I let my experiences change me, I began to imagine my future differently. Those multiple summers I had spent in this dancing at this international label not only improved my ballet technique, but introduced me to French cuisine and sweets, confections. I was changed by my experiences in unexpected ways. I could imagine a changed path. I decided to pursue a career in pastry. Yes, ballet led me to pastry. When I let my experiences change me, I was transformed to grow and to change. And I let myself imagine differently. I got to apprentice as a pastry chef in a fine dining restaurant. I backpacked through South America for 6 months. I lived in Europe for 3 years. I pursued a PhD in feminist studies. Very few opportunities in life ever turned out as I imagined they would be. When I was open to the potential of change, new opportunities and directions emerged in ways that were better than I could have ever initially imagined. You are graduating in a moment of huge potential change. Last year, you went to school on Zoom. You led a high school retreat completely virtually. You saw or participated in protests for racial justice sparked by the murder of George Floyd. You saw or were faced by historic wildfires in California. In this moment of great precarity, when the world around you has been changed, you have an amazing opportunity to consider business as well. What makes education meaningful? What would it look like to have gender and racial equality? What would it look like to harmony with the environment? Each of you in this graduating class has so much potential for imagining change. Willow, with your acute and critical eye. Yosheng, with your artistic abilities and strong work ethic. Henry, with your quiet diligence. Tracy, with your empathy and kindness. Naimisha, with your enthusiasm for learning. Taylor, with your leadership and initiative. Sonia, with your confidence and competence. Sam, with your passion and inquisitiveness. Melinda, with your kindness and quiet leadership. Jackson, with your humor and honesty. And Sylvie, with your open-mindedness and creativity. When I think about her, I easily become depressed about the multitude of problems. But what gives me peace is when I think about your generation. You, the graduating seniors in front of me, this class of 2001 holds all the potential for change. As we emerge out of this global pandemic, this Waldorf class, with its fierce individualism and its strong community spirit, holds the seeds of radical and lasting changes. You have a great responsibility to imagine differently what the new normal will look like. When you let the world change you, you change the world. How exciting to be a young person at this moment, discovering your potential for making lasting change. I'm so excited to hear and see what you will do. Thank you. I would like to introduce the class sponsors, Michaela Bergman and Phil Dwyer.
With endearing words, a kind heart, and an upbeat, generous spirit, he helps anyone in need. Jackson Brandenburg.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like to start this little speech by giving a heartfelt thanks to the faculty and teachers of this wonderful school. They have fostered a perfect learning environment for me and have inspired me to pursue my passions and my interests, and as well as emboldened me to ask questions. Next, I would like to thank my amazing and lovely who have provided me with a roof over my head, food in my stomach, and this incredible education, which they spent a lot of time in the car commuting for. Now, if you'll bear here, it's about 13 miles, roughly. That's about 50 miles of commuting a day. Now let's see how many days there are in the week. Let's multiply that. Then let's take that number, multiply it by the amount of weeks in the year, then multiply that by the amount of years I've been here. Okay? If my math is right, that is about 135,000 miles. Holy cow. Thank you. And I know I was a little bit of a troublemaker in the car. You know, I was kind of a pain in the butt, so thank you. You know, thanks again. Also, let me quantify that a bit. That is enough time. You could travel around the world more than 5 times. Yeah? It's pretty intense, so thank you. Next, I would like to address the challenges that my classmates and I faced on our journey. We faced the more traditional challenges, you know, like homework and everything, time management. Oh, it's probably just a me problem. But anyways, we faced a more unique challenge this year, and that would be COVID-19, you know, the struggles, you know, waking up 10 minutes before class, ready to work from our beds. Sorry, I mean workstations, desks. But there were problems. For instance, I had to, you know, kind of relearn, well, how to learn. And I just want to say that I am so proud of all of you. I have been with you for years, and I've watched you grow, and I've watched all of you face the challenges that we have faced head on and, you know, leap over them, dive, roll, duck, you know, barely dodge at the last second, but get around them in your own unique ways. And I just want to say I am so proud of all of you and honored to be here today. And I know that any path you take in your future, you will be successful. Thank you.
Ever ready to jump up and contribute, her light and friendly nature helps organize us all. Taylor Brandenburg.
Some of my most prevalent memories of my Waldorf education include looking up to the seniors each year I was in high school. I wanted the cap, I wanted the commitment to college, I wanted the diploma, and I wanted the overwhelming words of congratulations from others. Waldorf has provided me with many opportunities to congratulate myself and helped me to find the version of myself that I love today. Although I'd like to thank my family for being there for me through the toughest and the best of times, and I am endlessly grateful for them, in this Waldorf community, family is not defined by blood. Through my 15 years here, I've learned some of the most valuable lessons of life from people I've talked to only a handful of times, or teachers that have so willingly stayed after class to talk. Some of these lessons include the colored pencils you use in 4th grade will also be used in 12th grade, and it's perfectly acceptable to wear pajamas literally every single day at school. I'd like to take a moment to thank my mom and my tutor, who are the most resilient people in my life and have helped me through so much loss. Reason that I've persevered on the journey to find strength. Sometimes you have to lose things in order to save yourself. You would not have discovered life. To move on and not look forward to only the diploma, only the commitment to college, and only the large achievements. It is absolutely okay to celebrate yourself, even in the smallest successes.
大家早上好，我真的很希望我能亲自参加这个盛大的仪式，我非常想念你们。3年前我也在这里接受了半岛华尔道夫学校的面试，当时我正在思考和担心我在美国的未来生活，语言障碍、乡愁、孤独，所有这些都彻底说服了我，使我认为我将永远不会享受我的高中。然而我完全错了。在半岛华尔道夫学校的3年，教会了我很多坐在桌子前学不到的东西。感谢送我出国的爸爸妈妈，感谢你们不知疲惫地为我提供最好的，感谢我的妹妹总是无条件地支持我，感谢老师把我领进华尔道夫，把我当自己的孩子一样对待。我以前总是很怕你，因为你总是严厉地指出我的错误，但我知道这是你关心我的方式。感谢我的每一位同学和朋友，我们总是在讨论我非常想上大学，我非常想从高中毕业，但当毕业典礼这一天真的来临的时候，我们很难说再见。因为有了你们，我的高中生活变得有意义。我们一起在新奥尔良盖了房子，一起 莎士比亚的戏剧。我们计划了度假，一起过夜，一起吃饭。我会永远珍惜和你们在一起的这些年和所有伴之而来的回忆。感谢所有传授知识和教育我的老师们，你们总是非常乐意提供任何无论学习还是生活上的帮助。我会怀念戴维斯老师在课上说 lift and carry，Stubb 老师的口头禅 essentially，Fredrickson 博士的舞蹈等等。感谢是以来最好最令人放松的主任多埃尔和 Bergman 老师。半岛华尔道夫很小，它是如此之小，以至于当人们问我班同学的时候，我总是犹豫，不知该如何回答。但我爱这里，无论大小，无论地点，我爱半岛华尔道夫的一切，甚至是花园里的鸡和院子里的棕榈树。谢谢。Good morning, everyone. I really did hope I could be there to share my speech with you and join this big ceremony in person. I miss you all a lot. Three years ago, I was also right here in this spot and had an interview with a couple of WSP faculties, wondering and worrying about my future adventure in the United States. Language barriers, homesickness, loneliness, all this convinced me that I would never enjoy my high school life. However, I was totally wrong. Compared to my previous 10 years of education, the 3 years at WSP taught me lots of things that I couldn't learn by sitting in front of a desk. Thank you, my mom and dad, who decided to send me abroad and worked tirelessly, providing me the best. Thank you to my little sister, who always supported me unconditionally and was always so bright. Thank you, Mrs. Lee, for being the one who brought me to
getting bit staying up talking about life. I want to express my gratitude for the high level of acceptance and progressiveness present in the student body over here. Thank you to the teachers and the school environment for being so close and warm. Thank you to the students for giving everyone space to do their own thing without judgment and with acceptance. Thank you for being so inclusive and creating an environment where you get to experience the gifts of knowing different aspects of your own personality through meeting people that you otherwise wouldn't. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to gain planning, creativity, and collaboration gifts from all the class projects like the class gift, senior prank, Valentine's Day, class play. Thank you to my family, my brother for being the funniest person I've ever met and the person that I feel the most comfort around. Thank you to my mom for having such a strong desire to be involved in and to understand my life. Thank you to my dad for having such strong morals and making up funny nicknames for everyone. Definitely had a strong positive impact on my life, and I can't wait to see how everyone develops. If I had to give advice to the younger, it would be to push yourself out of your in order to gain new experiences that will improve your own life and yourself. Our generation is so full of people that stand up for what they believe in, people who have so much maturity and understanding, and people who genuinely want to make amazing memories together. Our generation's ability to educate each other and to create change gives me hope for the world around me. Thank you.
This gentle and soft-spoken philosopher with an active mind and dry wit is well worth listening to. Ivan Vilo Kvitek.
Good day, everybody. I do hope it is going rather well. I am here to talk about my time in Waldorf. Maybe try to find some deep meaning to it all, and also censor out the many gnome jokes I could have made here. But honestly, the journey itself holds much more value to me than any other sort of conclusion I could deduce from it. I have made friends and observed the many facets of our reality twist about me in the social games which I still have yet to comprehend. But at the very least, the process itself is more or less entertaining from my perspective. The chance to simply observe anything from a distant perspective is always such a wonderful opportunity, which has let me learn many things. The less strenuous parts of my time here have given me much time to reflect upon quite a few topics of all walks of life. Be they some philosophical concept or another fictional story that I wish to overanalyze out of boredom. I wish to thank all those teachers who have helped me out along this path by answering my usually inane inquiries about whichever subject my brain hyperfixates on at the given moment. I also wish to thank all the many people that I assailed with my rants and stories and overanalysis over the years for enduring the flood of information, whether it be useful or not. And finally, I want to thank my parents who have allowed me to have such a wonderful experience. Waldorf has let me explore so many different facets of thinking and learning, and for that I could not be more thankful.
With strong strides, curiosity, and nourishing aspirations, she helps us all stretch toward uprightness. Sonia Sofia Sadakova.
Today marks the end of my 15th and final year at Waldorf. This journey is now about to come to an end and a new chapter in our lives. A new era of learning is about to unfold. I think knowledge is a pretty strange concept. We learn formulas, theory, and names of places on this random rock hurtling through space, and then we put on these little caps and call ourselves accomplished people. To me personally, accomplished people are people who are happy and bring joy to those around them. Accomplished people are honest and open-minded to growth. During my time in high school, I tried to scramble to become my developing and changing idea of an accomplished person, failing to understand the lack of an endpoint. I just know that my next endeavor is falling in love with that process. It just is, we just are, and while we are alive, we can choose to prioritize being present and enjoying our lives as imperfect people, instead of always waiting for a tomorrow that will be called today when it arrives. The last 4 years of high school have been most impactful in who I am today. The challenges I faced both on campus and in my own life
have pushed me to make decisions about the kind of choices I want to make to solidify my character. And I'm still unsure about some of those choices, and that's okay because no matter how many times I graduate, I will always strive to keep learning about the world and about myself. I would like to thank my parents for giving me the opportunity to attend this school and the faculty for teaching me more things than facts, theory, and names of places. Thank you.
With imagination and a love for beauty, this artistic spirit stretches outside of time and into our hearts. Sylvie Walker Aguero.
Dear Waldorf community, as I was starting out Waldorf, I didn't really care for people much. I preferred to be alone, and recess would often find me hiding off somewhere, playing with dolls. I remember we were taught to make these little dolls out of plants, and I would just make so many of them and play with them all day. They had some sort of dried flower or plant for a head. As time went by, without much conscious effort, a best friend found me, and an entire friend group soon followed. And suddenly, unexpectedly, I had friendships, I had relationships that I highly valued. These friends grew with me so much over the years, and they introduced me to so many things. The internet for one, music, and celebrities, who became people I looked up to, heroes who I could find the path that I wanted to take, and they really gave me strength and inspiration. But through the lens of fangirl, I also began to appreciate the concept of people, and the people around me as well. I had so many icons in my life every day, adults and peers who gave me such strength, such support, and really inspired me and taught me the morals, giving me the path of where I want to go and who I want to be. As high school was beginning, a lot of my close friends left the school, and school has always really overshadowed all other aspects of my life. So it really was a huge shift for me to go from spending every single day with these people to not being able to see them as much. This forced a complete reorientation of myself in regards to the people around me. For the first time, I had to purposely put in effort to make new friendships and maintain old ones. And it made me realize that I wanted to, that I had really come to value people, relationships, and community, and I wanted to protect and keep them. I am so grateful to all of those who I love so much and am lucky to call friends. There are so many amazing people at Waldorf. The Waldorf community is undoubtedly special, and so very special to me. Every single member of the faculty puts so much energy, care, and most vitally, love into this school. And it shows. You can feel it. Your passion and your love is Waldorf's life force. So thank you for all that you do. There are also so many students at this school who I love and admire. And you have all really brightened my day many times and made this high school experience a beautiful one full of precious memories. I owe my entire Waldorf experience to my parents. They have had such faith in this school and worked so hard to ensure that I could go through it all the way from kindergarten to graduation. Thank you, Mama and Papa, for everything, and I love you so much. I would also like to thank my sister, Isabel, for going through Waldorf by my side. I love you so much, and I'm convinced you are the best person in the entire world. Thank you for always supporting me, inspiring me, and laughing with me. I have learned that friendships and community can get you through anything. Even in hard times, having the right people around you can really drown out the bad and be what, at the end of the day, tilts your perspective to a positive one. Excited to go out into the world and discover new communities, always knowing what a real and loving community can feel like. Dear Waldorf community, thank you for allowing me to know what that feels like.
早上好，尊敬的各位来宾、家人、朋友、老师与学校的各级成员。首先，我想对所有在高中4年里帮助过我的人说一声谢谢。这里包括我的家人、学校各级成员，特别是英语、人文部门的老师，他们的帮助使我的英语水平有了显著的提高。2018年，作为在此高中的第1年，我做了一件也许会让我一生的事。在一篇文章里，我有从谷歌抄袭过一段文本。抄袭 plagiarism 也是我第一次听到这个词汇。学校老师针对此事件对我进行了严肃的批评教育。并且着实吓到我。自从那以后，我了解到抄袭是一种非常严肃的学术罪行。我并不害怕与别人分享此事，不光想以此为戒，并且想让他人了解到此事的严重性。这也是为什么经过再三考虑，决定在如此有意义的时间来讨论这件事。失败是成功之母，我相信很多人已经发现，社会对于年龄越大的人，错率是越。所以我非常感谢我的英语老师，提前告诉我此事的严重性，从而避免将来在大学的生涯中造成不可挽回的后果。高中毕业无疑是我们人生路上重要的里程碑之一。这不光证明了我们足以踏入社会，并且开始接受高等教育，也证明了天下无难事，只怕有心人的道理，让我们在畏难、遇到困难时，对自己更加有信心，因为我们具有这个能力。最后，再次感谢所有人出席本次毕业典礼，我也由衷的感谢2021届的所有同学。Good morning, honored guests, family, friends, teachers. And school faculty members. First of all, I want to say thanks to all the people that have supported me during the 4 years of my high school, including my parents, and each one of the school faculty members, and especially the English and humanity teachers, who had improved my English skill remarkably. Back in 2018, the first year for me at our high school, I made a mistake that I can remember for my whole life. During the course of freshman composition, I copied a decent amount of text from Google and put it in my essay, which is also known as a plagiarism. And this is the first time I knew this word. Our school faculty had it seriously and scared me a little bit. Since then, I never thought to copy someone's work, which is such an academic sin that I didn't realize before entering high school. I'm not sharing this experience to other people, and I do not feel awkward to talk about it. One reason is because I want myself to actually engrave this mistake in mind and learn from it. And another
Outgoing,
reason is that I also want
exuberant,
other people
and
to
enthusiastic.
understand the seriousness
Her,
of
her
plagiarism.
courage
And
and
these are the
self-discipline
reasons why I
vault
choose
us
this
all
event
forward.
to share.
Samantha Welch.
Okay. Hello, everyone. When I was reflecting on my high school experience and trying to brainstorm for my speech, I kept going back to this strong feeling of gratitude. When I entered high school, if you were there for my ninth grade experience, I was very crippled by my fear of failure, and it was really bad. And I just wanted to thank the faculty for just being the support system I needed. Miss Stab was always there and kind of helped me overcome that and really have confidence in myself. And every time I look back or I have a struggle, I just reflect on that moment and realize I can ask for help and there are people there for me. And I do have faith in myself. And I do not think I would have gotten that anywhere other than Waldorf. The teachers pay so much attention to you and they really do care deeply about you. And I really needed that for my education experience. I also wanted to just thank Waldorf for all the opportunities and different things I could learn to really understand more about myself. Going into the future, I was very insecure about not knowing what I wanted to do or who I was or what I wanted to study for the rest of my life. And Waldorf has just given me this courage to just go into the unknown and be comfortable in not knowing what I want to do and who I want to be yet. And I just wanted to thank you all for allowing me to experience that and feel confidence in myself. I also wanted to thank my parents who have been there for me every step of the way, supporting me very much emotionally and physically and spiritually, taking me to and from school, all my sports practices, and just supporting me in everything I wanted to do. I'm going to miss you too, Aaron. I'm going to miss singing One Direction songs in the car. And even if you don't want to admit it, I know you're going to miss me too. And I just wanted to thank my classmates who are all siblings to me. And I'm just so proud of you all. And I can't wait for your futures. And I'm going to definitely still hit you up in 10 years if I need a place to stay. But yeah, I just wanted to thank you all. And I can't believe we did it.
With presence and poise, this quiet striver for excellence wakes us up with her synthesizing sensitivity. Yu Sheng Wu.
So initially, I was going to do this speech where I start off with an anecdote about a moment at Waldorf, and then connect that in some obscure way to moving on to the next chapter of life. But it felt a little forced. I soon realized that I could represent myself more authentically if I expressed one thing that has been going through my mind recently. That being the idea of knowing oneself. I journaled about this topic a while ago and wanted to share it in hopes that maybe it will address some questions that some of you might relate to having. Here is a shortened and slightly modified version of what I wrote. Here's my question. What does it mean to know something, someone? And what exactly does knowing yourself entail? Is it knowing facts about yourself, such as your likes and dislikes, your hobbies, your habits? Is it how conscious you are of your thoughts or emotions? Is it just a sense or a feeling of being secure? Do you need to calm down and just be to know yourself, or do you have to know yourself before you can act the part? Is knowing yourself creating a character for yourself that you decide to act out 24/7? Do people really know themselves? After the past 4 years, I've learned to ask questions, not just to get an answer, but to guide me through a thought process. I've probably heard this at every Waldorf graduation, but the cliche holds true that at Waldorf, we have learned and been encouraged to ask questions. I've realized that having questions is not about not having something, such as answers, but is actually about having something, the ability to think outside the given context, the curiosity to learn, the openness to new ideas, and so much more. Thank you for listening, and I hope that it made you think a little and question how you all know yourselves. With that, I want to thank my teachers, my fellow classmates, and especially my family for being so incredibly supportive and patient with me. All the encouraging words, concerned inquiries, and weird conversations have helped me grow into the person I am today, and I am forever grateful. Thank you.
Literate, musical, investigative, diplomatic, and ever striving. She radiates wisdom and care everywhere. Melinda Yang.
My first impression of WSP was on the morning of a rose ceremony 6 years ago. I remember standing over there on that hill as our class teacher introduced me to what was then the 7th grade class. Later, I would remember the way the students drew me into enthusiastic discussions of summer adventures and hopes for the new school year. But what I noticed first in that moment was the brilliant morning sun, which shone over all your welcoming faces and straight into my eyes. Now the sun, I've learned, has various meanings here at Waldorf. There's the golden sun we learn to hold above our heads in eurythmy class. There's the sun that's always shining in the morning verse we say every day. And then there's this light, this joy, this life that I see in all of you. Because that's what I love most about this school. And yes, there are other things I've enjoyed in my time here at Waldorf. The variety and depth of our classes, from architecture all the way to zoology. This space of endless possibilities, where I've had the opportunity to do things like start a club for members of the LGBTQIAP+ community, or help us put on a full-length play. The faculty, staff, and all the other amazing people who make everything a reality. And speaking of amazing people, my family. I wouldn't be here without you in so many ways. But most of all, my dear classmates, what I love about Waldorf is you. I am constantly amazed by you, by your bravery and ingenuity, by your confidence and sincerity, by how much you do and how much you care. I know it hasn't been easy. We've been through main lesson finals and thunderstorms and the raging dumpster fire of 2020. We've cried. We've laughed. You have, on more than one occasion, made me cry from laughing. It has been an honor and an absolute delight to come on this journey with you all, to learn and to grow and sometimes just to exist by your side. Here I am again, here on this field, with you, looking into the world in which the sun is shining. So here's in our lives, and to my dear, dear class of 2021. Thank you.
And now the class will share a poem offering.
Today.
Does the road wind uphill all the way?
Yes, to the very end.
Will the day's journey take the whole long day?
From morn to night, my friend.
But is there for the night a resting place?
A roof for when the slow, dark hours begin.
May not the darkness hide it from my face?
You cannot miss that inn.
Shall I find other wayfarers at night?
Those who have gone before,
Then must I call or knock when just in sight?
they will not keep you standing at that door.
Will I find comfort, travel worn and weak?
Of labor you shall find the sum.
Will there be beds for me and all who seek?
Yes, beds for all who come.
I've spent some time trying to figure out how to best use my last chance to share a little philosophy with you all. I've been trying to pick one of two poems, and I haven't been able to figure out which one to do, so lucky you, you get both. And the first one you actually shared with me, and I want to share it to everyone on your behalf and back to you. It's the one you read to me outside the Earth Art shop on Valentine's Day, called Holding the Light by Stuart Kessenbaum. Gather up whatever is glittering in the gutter, whatever has tumbled in the waves or fallen in flames out of the sky. For it's not only our hearts that are broken, but the hearts of the world as well. Stitch it back together. Make a place where the day speaks to the night and the earth speaks to the sky. Whether we created God or God created us, it all comes down to this. In our imperfect world, we are meant to repair and stitch it together, what beauty there is, stitch it with compassion and wire. See how everything we have made gathers a light inside itself and overflows? A blessing. In this next one, I want to go back a little further than 15 years, maybe a considerably bit, and right back to this moment where we're going to be calling your name for you to receive your high school diploma. It's called Earthenized. Once again, the incomprehensible magnitude of the boundless started in another enigmatic condensation cycle. A gathering swirl of non-dimensional infinitude stretched across indescribable space, spiraled, tightened, contracted, increasing coherency while moving toward a minuscule speck of dust. As the falling vortex came closer and closer, the dot got bigger and bigger. It was as big as a planet when the celestial helix coalesced in infinitesimal singularity and dropped to Earth, swelled, breathed, and stood up. Eyes deep as midnight, bright as stars, vast as the cosmos, lit up, looked out, and said your own name.
By the powers given to me by the Board of Trustees, I am granting to each one of you, when you approach the podium, the high school diploma from the Waldorf School of the Peninsula. It's part of the rules.
Taylor, Jackson Brandenburg.
Taylor Brandenburg.
Xiu Tracy Chen. Yes, Tracy, you did it too.
Naimisha Desai.
Ivan Willow Kvitek.
Sonia Sofia Sadekova.
Sylvie Walker Aguero.
Yushui Henry Wang.
Samantha Welch.
Yosheng Wu.
And Melinda Yang. And now we present to the graduates of 2021